I don't think I've ever in my life seen a team that's 3-3 that's a Super Bowl favorite. Like an actual like betting, not like, oh, I think they're the best. Like they're the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl, and they're 3-3.
And not in the playoffs currently.
Yes, like outside the playoff picture.
Uh-huh.
And Vegas is like, that's fine, them.
It's That Football Show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame for your Friday edition of That Football Show, previewing the Week 7 action, Chiefs versus Raiders, and all the other games on the slate. Rashee Rice is back for the Chiefs. Very excited for that. And we got to thank our friends Ben Holiday, Bottled and Bond Bourbon and Holiday Distillery for being back supporting us. Right. Still, thank you to them. Matt, how are you doing?
Good. Living the dream. Just getting ready for a little. We're recording this very late on a Wednesday evening. Right. We are getting ready for Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers to go out there and have the geriatric game on Thursday night, where it's really a question of does somebody's hip give out. Good. Just getting ready for. I cannot believe it's already Week 7. But
that is crazy, right? Over a third of the season already done, or I guess technically a third of the season done. Yeah. Leading into the next third of the season here. Chiefs taking on the Raiders. Raider week. First time this season that there is a Raider week. The Chiefs will play a rare home noon game as well. The Chiefs get dealt this week on Week 7. Look, Matt, I don't know if we need to spend a whole lot of time talking about this game. There's obviously situations around the Kansas City Chiefs we will talk about. Yeah. And some positional things with Rashee Rice, what's going on at left tackle. Yep. But overall, I think that things in this Chiefs-Raiders game should be pretty straightforward, especially if you look at the new ass list out there on @TuckerDFranklin. If you go check that out, that will kind of sort things out for you. This is a badass team versus a super mega ass team, according to the ass list.
And if you're not familiar with that list, that super mega ass is only one step below Jets.
Thank you. Yes.
So yeah, I mean it's a truckload of ass. And so the Raiders. The Raiders are coming in without Brock Bowers. That's been the expectation. He didn't practice on Wednesday. He's not expected to play in this game. Jacoby Myers also did not practice on Wednesday, which it feels like if he doesn't play, I might be playing receiver. They are down bad, as the kids would say. Mm-hmm. And as far as the noon, it's funny. So after you said that, I went and looked real quick. Like the Chiefs, not surprisingly, I guess, but in recent years, not a lot of noon kicks at Arrowhead Stadium. In fact, since the start of 2023, they've had one noon kick on a Sunday at home. One noon kick on a Sunday at home. It's rare. And then they only had. Well, in 2022, they had like 3 of them. So, yeah, but in 2023, 2024, and this year, this is now only the second one in all that time.
Who did they play in that game?
They played Denver in the Julio Chenal game.
Yes, that was the blocked field goal, yeah?
Blocked field goal, yep.
Yep, that's right. Okay. Crazy, because that same year, I mean, I think they only had maybe 2, and the other one was like at Carolina or something like that.
Yeah.
It was the other noon game.
Ridiculous. Yeah. And they don't have, not surprisingly again, but not many.
I think they have 4 total this year. The Colts game right now is supposed to be a home noon game for the Chiefs. I would be that game probably should be flexed. That's it. Like,
it's going to get flexed.
Yeah, especially if the Colts still play how they're going to play. But you're right. They don't get very many home noon games anymore.
So this year, they're supposed to have the Indy game, the Chargers game.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that game's going to get flexed too.
The Tennessee game is not going to get flexed. That is
actually play that
another tenant of the super mega ass building.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm trying to see. So they play the Colts. Not to get off topic here, but they play the Colts week 12. I'm just seeing what the Sunday night game is because I'm be curious. Is that a game that could get flexed? No, it's Tampa and the Rams. I'm not going to flex it.
No.
So that game is, but they'll probably do is play. So that game's on CBS, obviously. So my guess is that they'll make that a 3:25 game,
right?
Which does need a corresponding move. And the only problem is, like, there's a Raiders game, but they have to play a game late 'cause it's on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Same with Arizona. Philly and Dallas is not going anywhere. And, I mean, Atlanta and New Orleans is just brutal. It's on Fox, so maybe the Chiefs and Colts on the go on Fox or something. We'll see. But in any event, look, Chiefs favored by 11.5 here in this game. And on ESPN's book, 12.5. So,
wow.
But here's the reason I bring up the odds is now, by the way, they're massive favorites compared to anybody else in the league. I think the highest favorite otherwise is like 7 points. This might be the weirdest year I can remember for the start of an NFL season for a lot of reasons, and the Chiefs are obviously among them. I don't think I've ever in my life seen a team that's 3-3 that's a Super Bowl favorite. Like an actual betting, not like, I think they're the best. Like, they're the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl, and they're 3-3.
And not in the playoffs currently.
Yes, like outside the playoff picture. And Vegas is like, that's fine, them.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I have never, ever, I confidently can say, I don't know that that's ever happened. Like, that is
right?
Insane. So right now on DraftKings, they're the favorite at plus 650. The Bills were higher. I think the Bills are like plus 700. Now they're plus 650. So the Chiefs and Bills are tied. Who do you think is third? Obviously, it's the whole league Super Bowl. So who do you think is third?
Tampa?
Tampa is 7th.
What?
Tampa's tied with the Colts.
That seems insane.
Plus 1,500, 15-1.
They're only going to get healthier, though, too.
I know, it's nuts.
That doesn't make any sense. That seems like a good number.
The Raiders are plus 40,000.
Yeah, if you want to waste any of your money, go ahead and do that.
I like to put down $1.
Like a donation to Las Vegas. If you want to donate to DraftKings Sportsbook, non-tax refundable, you can do that there. The third best team, is it? No, wait, it's still the Ravens, right?
No, it is not.
Okay, that's good.
However, the Ravens have a better odds than the Seahawks.
What?
The Ravens are 25-1, Seattle's 28-1.
Who else could it be? Not Philly. Is it Philly? They're not giving Philly that much.
It is the Packers.
I don't know how I feel about the Packers.
The Packers are plus 750. Detroit is plus 800. Everybody else is at least 1,200 or higher. Yeah, the Packers, that seems aggressive.
Yeah.
I love that, like, the Panthers are 3-3 and they're still plus 3,500.
Right.
Which is fair. That's what they should be.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is, so we're sitting here now. The Chiefs are the betting, and some books are the outright favorite. They're the betting favorite. Mahomes is the MVP. There's like 3 guys that are like reasonably in the favorite category. Mahomes, Mayfield, and Allen. Allen and Mayfield are both plus 300. Mahomes is plus 175. Yeah. Nobody else is even below plus 1,600.
Wow.
Yeah, correct. I appreciate that Tua, you can actually place a bet on Tua. At plus 15,000.
Again, donations at that point.
Like what? Travis Kelce, you can bet on Travis Kelce. It's plus 50,000.
When was the last time a non-quarterback won the MVP?
I think it was when Adrian Peterson rushed for 2,000 yards, I think.
Yeah, that was the first one that came to my brain.
There has never been a wide receiver to ever win the MVP.
Really?
Correct. Yep. And there's only been 2 defensive players that ever won it. Alan Page in 1971 and Lawrence Taylor in 86. However, here's a fun little fact for everybody watching. There was a kicker that won MVP.
Who was it?
1982, Mark Mosley for Washington.
Shout out. Yeah, it looks like, as I'm doing a quick peruse here, it looks like Adrian Peterson in 2012 was the last time a non-quarterback, and before that it was LT, LaDainian Tomlinson. I
feel like at this point, it's just that's a quarterback award, and then whoever the best player is otherwise gets Offensive Player of the Year.
Right, yeah.
Unless you're Mahomes, in which case you just won both of them in 2018. They're so dominant, they're like both. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so. I mean, look, it is really interesting the vibes of this team. Like, Matt, I'm curious to you how you feel about this, because I think a lot of people feel the same about this team. Like, this team's way more fun to watch than what they were at this point last year, right? Like, at this point the last night they were 6-0, and they felt miserable to watch this team.
I remember like having weekly conversations talking about how they're winning, but it is like physically painful to watch this team play a football game.
Right. Yeah.
And now this year, like, look, shout out to First Things First, which is a quality program.
Yeah.
All three of the guys do a great job. And even when Mangini comes on, he's hilarious. But like, Chris Broussard is something that I have felt and I completely agree with. He said they're to a point now, again, where when they get the ball, I just expect them to score.
Yeah.
And that is how I felt about the Chiefs for a long time. Like, to put it in my own words, it's gotten to a point with them over the last 3 weeks. And the Jacksonville game, they lost because they just beat themselves in every conceivable way. But like,
right, yeah,
it feels like the other team has to play absolutely perfect to have a shot to beat them. And that is not something, even when they won the Super Bowl in 2023, all the credit in the world to the defense. But like, I never felt like that about that team. Last year, even when they were 15-1, I didn't feel that way about them. This year, it feels like, man, if this offense is going to be what it's been the last 3 games, plus now Rashee Rice, it's like you're going to have to. I mean, I know the defense hasn't been a dominant defense. It's been probably like league average, a little better maybe.
Yeah.
If they're scoring 30-some odd points a game, like, the reality is to beat them, you're probably, if they're going to play offense like this, you're going to have to get in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Not many teams are getting in the 30s against them.
Correct.
Like, realistically speaking, I think sometimes it's like, well, the defense, okay, but if they're going to score 30 a game, if they're going to be right around that mark, you've got to get 30 against Spags.
Right, yeah.
Right? Like, you've got to get 30. And like this year so far, Jacksonville did it, but they got a pick 6 in there. Right. So
they
like,
didn't actually, their offense didn't score 30.
They didn't get to 30.
Yeah.
Last year, Buffalo got to 30. I'm not including the Denver game week 18.
That doesn't count. Yeah.
Right. So then, like, that's the only time regular season last year anybody got to 30. The year prior, 23 was insane.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, nobody got, one team scored more than 21. It was 20. So nobody got to 30 that year. And then the year prior, they gave up 30 once in a game that they won, and they gave up a bunch of garbage time to the game against Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we're talking legitimately, okay, so we got the last game of 2021, 17 games of 2022, 17 games, so 35, 53. So 53, 15, in their last 59 regular season games, they have given up, in the last 59 regular season games, they've given up 30 offensive points once. Good luck. Like, I mean, that's what you're looking at. And that game was garbage time. Like, they were killing Tampa in that game.
Right.
If they score, they're going to win. They're going to win the game. And like Detroit, like, I get they were beat up. I get it. And then they decided to try to beat people up.
Right.
But it was interesting strategy. Listen, I get it that Detroit was beat up. The Chiefs did whatever they wanted to do in that game. It was like, you can't get home. Jalen Moore was guarding Aiden Hutchinson's one-on-one, just blocking him up.
Yeah.
The thing about the offense that's different right now, other than the fact that it looks competent, is it's just easy. Like, Mahomes just hits his 5-step drop, and it's just like, cool, Hollywood's open for 15. Great. Yeah. Juju's open for 12. Where, like, even when they moved the ball times last year, it felt unbelievable. It felt like
20 play drives all the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With this team, it's like, all right, what do you guys think? Like 7 plays, 95 yards? Yeah, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
And now they're getting Rashee Rice back. Like, he's the best weapon on the team. Like, right. He hasn't even been on the team yet. No, they are. But to this week's point, I will say, this is a game. I don't normally say this about an NFL game. It's more of a college thing to say. I want to see the Chiefs go out and show, like, hey, look, go out and bury this team.
Yep.
This should not be 24-20 and it's a death match to the end. I don't care. And for anyone out there's like, well, it's a divisional game. I don't give a shit. They are 100 times better than this team. They're at home. The Raiders, if Bowers is out, are missing their best offensive player by a mile.
Yep.
They're missing their left tackle, who's the only good offensive lineman on the whole team.
Yep.
Like, look, I'm not saying you got to win the game 38-3. You should win this game like 34-16. This game should be over by the middle of the third quarter. That is one thing I do want to see out of this Chiefs team in this game. And to be fair, they've won 3 games in blowout fashion this year.
Yeah.
But blow this team out. Put this team to bed. This should be a game where it's like stat pad time in the second half of this game, where Mahomes is just airing it out for like his 5th touchdown.
Yeah.
Like that's what this game needs to be. It will be concerning to me if this is one of these, like they had to hang on or somehow lose this game. Like you need to go out and win this game and win it convincingly. You are the better football team. There is no excuse for this game to be anything with it. Like anything less than 2 scores to me in this game is ridiculous. And really, like they should be shooting for like 3 scores. Like this, the Raiders are brutal, man. Like the Titans hung around with the Raiders.
That's true. That game was a rock fight.
That game was a battle of 2 super mega ass teams. And it
showed.
It lived up to the hype.
It did show.
I actually turned that game off in the second quarter and took a walk for 10 minutes to regain dignity. I was like, this is horrific.
That game was going on at the same time as Green Bay Cincy, right? When that's 2 games,
Yes.
like there's 3 games going on because it was also
It was
Tampa Bay
and Tampa and San Francisco. Yeah.
and San Francisco. Those were the 3 games going on at the time. So I had all 3 of them on. And it was like, well, okay, well, I'm just going to pay attention to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah. If you look at this roster, it is you quickly realize why this team is super mega ass. Like Jacoby Myers, Ricky came back on Wednesday for a little bit and decided that he was going to say Jacoby Myers is gone. He's basically traded already, and he's, as you mentioned, not practicing. That leaves Trey Tucker and a Deontay Thornton Jr. for their wide receivers, and then Alec Bachman and a Jack Besh. Do you remember Jack Besh? Very good showing at the old Senior Bowl.
If Jacoby Myers is not there and Brock Bowers, as expected, is not there, they have one receiver who has more than 100 yards in the game.
Awesome.
I mean, that is just brutal. Like Trey Tucker is like the only guy I have.
Which is insane. He did burn Justin Reed that one play. Remember when Aiden O'Connell forgot how to play football in that game? I was at that game. That was fun on Black Friday.
Awful. I mean, listen, and by the way, like Trey Tucker, for everyone is like, man, he's having a great year. Trey Tucker had 145 yards against Washington and 3 touchdowns, and otherwise has been Trey Tucker. So not to knock the man, but just saying, like, listen, they are hard. They are hard, man. Like Geno Smith is 10 picks this year already. He's been sacked 18 times.
Yeah,
he's been sacked on 9% of his dropbacks. Which I know, like, out of context, people are like, that doesn't sound that bad. That is horrendous.
Yeah.
Like, how bad is it? It is 26th worst in the NFL. Like, it's, by the way, the Jets are last.
Tracks.
Yeah. Toss that out there.
He's playing like Eugene Smith, not Geno Smith. You know?
It's fair. Like, they're not, they can't throw the ball well. They're rushing attack. Everybody's like, Ashton Jeanty, 4 yards a carry. They're 24th in the league.
Right.
They're not running. I mean, they're offensive. Their scoring percentage, like, just drives it end in a score. They're 29th, only ahead of the Titans, Bengals, and Browns. I mean, this is a team that they don't do anything well offensively. They don't throw the ball well. They don't run the ball well. This may come as a shock. But you know, they are not exactly a dynamo in the red zone. They are 31st ahead of the Chargers, ironically. The only thing they're any good at is on third down. They're tied for 11th, ironically, with Kansas City. They also have the 8th most third down attempts because they're constantly at third down.
Right, yeah.
You know, points per drive, they're 29th. Yards per drive, they're 25th. Like, they are horrific.
It's a bad football team.
Yeah, I mean, there is no excuse not to bury this team. I mean, there is no excuse not to just go out and play well and handle business here.
Look, there's a reason they're in the super mega ass category in the ass list. Yeah. You know, there is a reason. I don't just put those teams willy nilly in there. Right. I take this very seriously in my ass list tier list rankings. There's a couple things we got to talk about. Obviously, Rashee Rice coming back. We'll get into that a little bit more. Matt, you kind of hit on it a little bit, but also the left tackle situation we do need to talk about before we get too deep into it and talk about those other games. But first, I'm calling all Chiefs fans. You could be at the field, at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back to talk more Chiefs Raiders after this. Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Now, the one only good player on the Raiders is on the defensive line for the Las Vegas Raiders of Oakland. Max Crosby, he doesn't really switch sides a whole lot. He usually is coming off the right side of the offensive line, left side for the defensive line, right? So that'll be Jawan Taylor a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation going on about what's going on with left tackle. I mean, there's a lot of, like, the situation is very in flux. At the time we're recording this podcast, don't really know a whole lot what's going on. It doesn't sound like anyone locally, nationally knows what's going on with Joshua Simmons and what's going on in that situation. It is presumed that Jalen Moore will be the left tackle heading into this football game. And look, Chiefs played him some money. He played really well, I think, in a game where he didn't know he was going to start. And so he kind of got thrown to the wolves a little bit, and he performed well against a pretty decent defensive front. Got Aiden Hutchinson a couple times. I think their defensive line was playing pretty well. I mean, even though they have the guy, the Lions defensive line has obviously Hutchinson drawing most of the attention. I think a lot of their guys were still getting after the quarterback well. But that left tackle is still going to be an area of intrigue, Matt, coming into this one.
Yeah, and look, it's obviously a big topic of conversation right now. I think the reality is, I know people are starving for information and like what's going on. And I can tell everybody watching this that I've reached out to people, I've texted people around the league, around the team, and understandably, there's not a whole lot of being said. And I think right now, at least from the chair I'm sitting in, I'd love to give you more information that, responsibly, but I don't know more information. I'm not sure anybody really knows more information right now. It's kind of one of those things that, look, it's obviously a personal matter. It's a delicate matter. It's unclear who it involves, what it's about, but it is, listen, you don't leave the team. I mean, I'm using the term hours liberally here, but you don't leave the team on game day, let's put it that way.
Yep.
If something serious is not happening, right? You're not leaving the team on a Sunday because you got to go grocery shopping. Like, there's something going on. You respect that from a football standpoint while that is figured out and hopefully appropriately dealt with. They paid Jalen Moore $30 million the second free agency opened because they thought at the time he was going to be the left tackle of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And then fell into Josh Simmons at 32 and took him, and great. And obviously to this point has worked out, with this issue notwithstanding at the moment. But Jalen Moore played like a very quality, competent left tackle.
Yeah. And
if you're the Chiefs, I think you go into this game feeling fine about him being a left tackle. Sure, you'd love to have Josh Simmons there. And look, who knows? Maybe he'll be there. But as it stands, one would assume that it's going to be more. And if it is, I think if you're the Chiefs, you feel like, hey, it's not like we've got to constantly help and double team. And, truthfully, if this is a game where Crosby's giving him the business and Crosby's a great player, he's done that to more than a few tackles, then you do give help. and you say, you know what, nobody else is beating us on this front.
Yeah.
Like, fine, we'll help them. But yeah, look, for the Chiefs, I think the overwhelming thing is you can't beat yourselves in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And that means giving a little help. If you need to, fine. If you don't, that's awesome. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson's everybody as good as Max Crosby.
True.
And Jalen Moore did a hell of a job on him. But yeah, look, let's be honest about it. The storylines this week are going to be surrounding whatever it is, what's going on with Josh Simmons and Rashee Rice coming back.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the overwhelming, pair of storylines.
And that's incredibly exciting for Rice coming back in this game. And there was a couple of reports that came out, I believe, on this was early on in the week. Maybe it was Jeremy Fowler who was saying that they don't anticipate a ramp up period. They're going to throw him right in there, and they're going to be ripping ready to go for Rashee Rice as he is now back with the team. He was activated officially. So long, Jason Brownlee. His time was short, but yet so long on the active roster.
It really, I'll never forget that fade route. The third down.
Yeah,
it was lovely. But cool for Jason Brownlee. You got to, hey, I say you'll play in the NFL.
Hey, look, if the Chiefs go on and win the ring, he gets a ring, right?
Yeah, I mean, my guess would be probably the practice squad. Right?
He did clear waivers.
Yeah,
I would assume he'd be back on the practice squad.
Yeah. So listen, hey, he's still living the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I mean, honestly, here's a sentence I never thought I'd say about this team. I don't know how they're going to play all these guys. Like, I'm very interested to see like the balance of this.
Yeah. Because
Hollywood's got over 300 yards. Worthy is, look, obviously he's only got $145. He played in 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey obviously is Kelsey. That's fine. It's a different deal. But like, Juju's been good.
Yeah.
And they love Juju. Like, it's just like team big slot where it's just Juju and Rashee and Kelsey. Like, it's just chaos in the middle of that. I mean, it's, look, my guess would be you're going to see mostly Rice, Brown, and Worthy, and then they're going to mix in Thornton, and they're going to mix in Juju.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Thornton deserves to play. Like, Thornton has played well enough. And Juju's always going to see his snaps with this team because that's the way they are. But, like, I think the upside of it is obvious. Like, when you have that kind of depth, you can just keep guys fresh and rotate them in and rotate them out, and you're not wearing guys out as the season goes on. I mean, look, poor Jalen Royals. I actually think that guy can play. Like, he's never seen a snap on this team. Like, there's no way in hell he can't get on the field. But it's going to be very interesting to see how they work this rotation of receivers because there are just so many of them.
Right.
And all of them, to their credit, deserve some semblance of playing time, whatever that is. Some more than others, of course, but it's all the same.
What a world we live in now, Matt, where it was like Kadarius Toney,
Tyquan Thornton out there.
I know, it was Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore were the number 1 wide receivers 3 seasons ago.
There it is.
Oh yeah, we did it.
Oh God Almighty! They won the Super Bowl with those guys.
I cannot believe that.
Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney caught Super Bowl touchdowns in the 4th quarter.
They did.
I mean, and by the way, hey, listen, Sky Moore and MVS holding it down in San Francisco.
They are, man. They are.
That is.
DeMarcus Robinson as well is back with them.
That's right. He is. You're right. Sky Moore's out there getting 13% of snaps on offense, and he has 1 catch.
The whole year?
Whole year.
Okay.
In 2023, he played 53% of the Chiefs' offensive snaps. Team is unbelievable.
Moment of silence for that.
That team is legitimately going to have a documentary. Like, I know they did like the ESPN like 6 part like that. No, that team is going to have its own 30 for 30.
Yeah,
like they are that season.
They were 12-5 that year.
11-6.
Look,
that season they had 4 receivers. Here, this is a fun one. All right. Everyone out there, play along. Not including tight ends, just wide receivers.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay. In the 2023 season, the Chiefs had 8 receivers play at least 11% of their snaps. How many can you name?
Okay. Sky Moore.
Yep.
There's Tony.
Kadarius Toney, 20.3.
MVS.
54.6. He was second.
McCole Hardman.
11%.
Wildly low for McCole. He has 4. I have 4 more.
4 more.
Oh, good Lord. What can I pull? Who could
2023 Chiefs.
2023 Chiefs. Who could I pull?
2 of them you should get.
Justin Ross didn't get 11%, did he?
Yeah, he did. He got 12.
Oh, my gosh. They played Justin Ross more than McCole Hardman?
Yeah, they did. Well, because he was on the team for longer.
Yeah, that's true. This wasn't a Kemp year, was it? Was this a Marcus Kemp year?
No.
Okay, thank goodness.
Was not.
So I have 5. So I have 3 left.
Yeah, 2 of them you should get.
Oh, man. Chiefs wide receivers. Rashee Rice?
Yeah.
Is it 2030? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
65%, yeah.
Okay. And 55, I mean, that's doing a lot of work in the back half of the season. In the front half of the season.
Playing every snap for the last 9 years.
That front half of the season, he didn't do anything.
They went from being like, Rashee's going to be brought along. So like, Rashee, you're the only guy with hands. Get out there.
Did they trade for somebody? Oh, no, they would have traded.
It was Hardman that year.
Yeah, it was hard. So it wasn't D-Hop was the year. Okay.
Yeah, it was D-Hop. They got 2 more guys.
Oh, God.
One of which, if you don't get, you're going to be like, oh, of course. And then one of which is a deep pull.
Is this like a guy who's been on the practice squad for like a long time, like who's stuck around? Oh no, okay. 2023 Chiefs wide receivers over 12%.
11%, but they're both over 12. So
okay. Oh, they're both over. Oh my gosh.
If one's barely over 12. One's at 12.1%, and the other one's at 47.4.
Wow. I'm trying to think of who all the receivers were on that team. I don't know if I got another guess at me, truthfully.
How do you feel about Justin Watson?
I feel really bad for not getting Justin Watson.
Justin Watson's like a Ring of Honor member from that team, basically.
Yeah.
And then Richie James was also involved. That's right, Richie James. That team won the Super Bowl. It is impossible that team won a Super Bowl with that offense. And yet, they did it. Like,
I forgot about Richie James as a person.
So did his family. It's unbelievable that team. And by the way, the year that Mahomes won MVP, and we'll move on from this bit. But
no, that's fine.
The year that Mahomes won MVP, 2022, he threw for 5,200 yards.
Yeah.
The receivers that played at least 9% of the snaps, MVS, Juju, Justin Watson, Sky Moore, McCole Hardman, Kadarius Toney, and one of the guys who played 16% of snaps but was not a receiver, Jody Fortson. He threw for 5,200 yards with that group. And obviously, yes, and Kelsey.
Right.
But, that's impossible. The man, they had the best offense in football. And, he was throwing to guys that 20 years from now, people are going to be, who?
Yeah.
Who the hell is that?
You know what my favorite thing that Bills fans do? They do a lot of things that I just absolutely love, Matt. But my favorite thing is that they'll say, how come the Bills can't surround Josh Allen with stars like the Chiefs have?
Can I interest you in Sky Moore? Because he's available.
They have such a revisionist history about the Chiefs wide receiver room. It's like, well, yeah, he was throwing to a Hall of Famer in D-Hop last year. It's like, okay. Yeah.
Not
all right.
Hall of Fame form.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Love D-Hop, but listen, Mahomes' career is so misunderstood from the standpoint that, yes, the first 4 years of his 2018 on, and not his first.
Right.
First 4 years playing, yes, he had Hill and he had Kelsey. The Watkins thing gets blown out of proportion because Watkins basically played 6 games a season.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, they also had nobody behind those guys. Now, granted, though, their first ballot Hall of Famers. I will hear all day long, fine, right? The last 3 years, it has been Kelsey and friends, to be kind. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's be real about it. And the guy has won 2 Super Bowls and gone to since they traded Tyreek Hill, they've never not gone to the Super Bowl.
That's insane.
And they're currently the betting favorites to go. And half the year, their number one receiver to this point has been Tyquan Thornton. He's MVP favorite. Like, I don't think people understand. It's kind of like those years like Brady had like Deion Branch, Shea Call, and then they gave him Randy Moss and Wes Welker, and the guy threw for like 50 to 100 yards and 50 times. It'd be like, oh my God, he can put up numbers like Peyton Manning. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can you, like, that is like kind of the one thing that's going to be fun to me in this, like, with Worthy and Rice and how Hollywood's been playing. It's like, man, you're going to get to see like you've already seen it the last 3 weeks just with Worthy coming back. Like, they are going to cook like big time with this receiving core. Like, they've had these guys for 2 years and they've never played a game together.
I know.
You know, like the Raiders have to be going through this. Like, oh, good. You know, like, yeah, awesome, great news. But yeah, it's such a fallacy. You know, like even Baltimore, you get that. It's like, oh, well, you know, Lamar has been. He's had Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, Bateman, and Flowers. It's like, look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm like over the moon about that group.
Mm-hmm.
That is better than what we just reeled off.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Give me and by the way, along with Allen and in Baltimore, those guys who played behind really good offensive lines.
Yeah. And Derrick Henry too. I mean,
no. Yeah. Makes it a little easier. Like, now Burrow, he's played behind the line that is actively like a borderline. How can I word this? An inside agent.
I was going to say terrorist group. So I think we're
that's what I was thinking. So yes, okay. Like it's like a terrorist organization working against him. He has like unbelievable receivers,
right?
But the point being, the revisionist history about Mahomes is insane. Like this idea that like, well, you know, he's been so yes. But by the way, when he had Kelsey and Hill, the offense had to score every time down the field half the year.
They didn't have a defense. Yeah,
he couldn't stop anybody. Now, like in 2019, the defense got better as the year went on, and they were able to.
Well,
but I mean, yes, but better is like a relative term. It wasn't like a dominating defense.
They had a competent defensive coordinator at that point. Is what happened.
They had a great defensive coordinator who made the defense like competent.
Yes.
2020 and 2021, the defense was like, I mean, the defense was so great in 2021 that Brett Veach was like, we're going to trade Tyreek Hill to fix it. Okay. Like, right. And then, yes, the 1 year they had a great defense was 2023. They were good in 2022. They were good last year defensively. They're good this year defensively. But 2023 was the 1 year you're like, oh my God, this team. Like, if they score 20 points going in a game, they play. Yeah. It's the Buffalo stuff is hilarious to me because I always get a whole lot of like, well, yeah, I mean, look at the defense they have to overcome. Like, they're like number one in the league half the years.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I actually had a guy argue with me once, not realizing he was making my point. He was like, hey man, like, yeah, sure, the defense is great, but what good is it when they're ass against Mahomes? It's like, yeah, man, that's the point.
Yeah. They're
great until they play him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it was like a who's on first thing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, buddy, I got it. But that's the problem. Like, Mahomes is lighting them up. And he was just like, I know it's the problem. And like, okay, all right, we gotta stop this conversation. I mean, Mahomes has to just be sitting home, just like sobbing tears of joy.
Oh,
like we can block. I've got guys who can catch. Like this is unbelievable.
We need to talk about the Buffalo Bills because they are quietly and slowly imploding when they play teams that are
they're sliding down the ass scale.
They did take a dip in the ass scale. Actually, well, I had to create a new tier because we needed something between like badass and not ass and ass. Like you needed something that was like, and it was kind ass. That's the birth of kind ass was for the Buffalo Bills. We got to talk about that. We do got to talk about that. But I got to talk with Benny Heiss. I got to talk about the old Benny. We're going to get some Benny's bets for this week 7 slate. So we will take a break, and on the other side, it'll be me and Benny talking some bets for week 7. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you right after this to talk about the Bills and the other games going on this week. Chiefs.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s, and my husband Alan and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
Vinny, appreciate you hanging out with me, talking some bets here on KC Sports. We're getting that football show. How you doing? How you been? It's been a couple weeks for our schedules get lined up. Matt's got us recording at all hours of the night, Vinny. I tell you what, I'm on Matt Verderame time, and sometimes that's not a good thing.
I was gonna say, like, what constitutes Verderame time?
Oh, buddy,
you just. What is the latest that you're now like? Are you doing like a midnight show? Like, are you doing overnight hours? Because like those, when I first started in radio, like right out of college, the job that I had at SiriusXM for MLB Network Radio was I was the producer of the post game show, and that didn't start until midnight Eastern. So like midnight to 3 a.m. baby, like MLB round trip. Let's go. We were taking calls from some wild spots in the country with a lot of truck drivers just needing somebody to talk to after their teams crap the bed.
Yeah, so Sunday Night Football was a rough one. We didn't start recording, I don't think, until midnight for our podcast going out on Monday. So it depends on if Matt has to cover Thursday Night Football. Sometimes Matt has to go and cover Thursday Night Football. I think week 1 or week 2 when it would have been week 2 when the Packers had Thursday Night Football, I think. He had to go up to Green Bay, so then we had to record early on. Sometimes we have to record like Wednesday night going into it and everything. And, you know, my days are also loaded too. I can't just say it's all Matt's fault, right? I got a lot of things in the middle of the day I got to take care of as well with KC Sports Network. But
right, if you're doing like these midnight shows, like normally maybe that would be an opportunity the next day to kind of squeeze in a power nap, but you don't have time for that.
No.
There is content to be filled. There are shows that have to get out, and we got to give the people what they want.
We do got to give the people what they want. We got to talk about some bets for this week 7 slate, Benny. Week 7 already. It's kind of crazy. Over of a third of the way there when it comes down to the NFL season. What do you get your eyes on this week? You want to start with the Chiefs? You want to start somewhere else? Where do you want to start?
Yeah, let's start with the little Chiefs. And I think for anybody tuning in to 5 things, they'll get a little bit more of this in a breakdown. But a bit surprising, at least for me, to see Kansas City as an 11.5-point favorite at home. The Raiders have been garbage, but coming off of a win, still relative to what we've seen from them in the last several years, a high caliber head coach in Pete Carroll. And if you go back over the last few years, the two of the biggest outright upsets that Mahomes has had in his career have come against the Raiders at home. So yes, Rashee Rice is back, but that kind of caught me off guard to see Kansas City substantially favored by 11.5 and the total of only 45.5. I know everything came out right in Detroit, but at first glance, Tucker, did that line feel pretty big to you? Because that felt awfully big to me, even with getting somebody like Rashee Rice back into the lineup.
Yeah, especially in today's NFL. It seems like all these games, it's a really an any given Sunday league now with the injuries, who's hurt, who's playing well. It kind of feels like nobody's necessarily good and no one's really separated themselves from the pack. So it always seems like these games are one-score games. Now, the Raiders are not a good football team. That also kind of plays into it a little bit too. Is like if you watch them play, I mean, the Titans stuck around with them for a little bit. So I mean, that's got to mean you're not that good of a not that good of a team. But I would say I was surprised it got up to the 11.5. I thought it could have been something, 7.5, maybe 8.5, up in that range. But 11.5 is certainly a big number.
It is. And if you look at Mahomes' history, 1-7-1 against the spread as a favorite of 6 or more over the last few years. But in fairness, 9-0 straight up. So
yeah,
a lot of times we talked about this before, the Chiefs just futz around and then at some point make their run. So if at any point Kansas City finds themselves down in the game and you're looking at a money line price or a pretty reasonable live line at DraftKings, certainly take advantage of that. But these big numbers has not been historically good for Kansas City and for Mahomes to cover, not necessarily not to win,
right.
But to cover. Should I know that I gave my pick on 5 things. Should I give it out here as well, or should we let the people go find that goodness over on 5 things?
No, I think we tease 5 things. I think that's what we do. 5 things will come out tomorrow, so those people can wait. If they want the pick, they can wait. It's a good pick. I like it. It's a pick after my own heart, really, Benny. You know how I operate, so we'll save that one for 5 things. What else do you have for us this week?
So, you know how it's sort of become a meme lately. Like if you're watching College Game Day and everybody picks, one team, or, the Sunday night countdown, everybody picks, like if the Chiefs are on Sunday Night Football, everybody picks, the Lions or something like that. It's like, oh, okay. Got to take the Chiefs now.
Yeah.
What I would tell you is that if everybody likes the pick, chances are that's not the side that you want to be on, especially this year.
Right.
Shout out to Evan Abrams over at the Action Network, who continues to compile just some of the absolute best betting stats week after week in his column over there. But they collect betting data. And what was fascinating to me so far this year is that NFL teams that are getting 60% of the betting tickets or more are 15-36 against the spread so far. That's it. 15-36. That's the worst mark in 23 years. Now, take that even a further step. NFL teams with 70% of the betting tickets, 4-16 against the spread, including 0-7 against the spread at home.
Holy cow.
So if there is a wide discrepancy between tickets and where the money is going, especially if it feels like everybody is piling on, you're going to want to zag when everybody else is zigging, because especially now, and listen, you and I were talking before this, occasionally the public gets a week where they're feeling good about themselves. They're lining their pockets a little bit. They're celebrating with some of their wins. Not the case so far this year. It has been a very, very tough stretch for the betting public. We'll see if that turns around at all. But so far, they're just taking an absolute beating in the first 6 weeks of the season. Well,
they don't make those big buildings in Vegas by just any happenstance, right, Benny? They know what they're doing over there and down in Vegas. Our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook certainly do. I do. That is very.
I would try to help you get on the right side.
Right. I do think that is that's a very interesting number there when it comes to all these large betting favorites and people who always have their money on the board. And that will, that we always talk about regression to the means in sports. Like in gambling, that'll also happen too. Like you'll have a regression to the mean. If you hit a hot streak, you'll get cold, or like the public will eventually hit a hot streak because of regression to the mean.
Right. And at some point you can only try to lean on some of those stinky, gross underdogs that eventually backdoor cover, whatever the case might be. Like that's usually a pretty good strategy most of the time, to just take those bets that most people are just afraid of. It just doesn't feel right to them. But more often than not, then those bets are typically hitting. It is pretty wild to see some of those numbers and how it's gone through the early portion of the season.
That's really interesting. Now, Benny, I know you had one more thing you wanted to talk about. It has to do with some awards, and always these awards numbers are always updating. They're constantly updating, as we saw Patrick Mahomes DraftKings Sportsbook put him as a favorite for the MVP award. But there might be another number on that list that you're looking at.
Yeah, the MVP list right now is fairly interesting because you got Mahomes at the top, then Baker 3-1, Josh Allen tied with him, Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, Herbert, Jordan Love, and then all the way down at 30-1. And I think everybody's kind of looking at him as a complete just afterthought when he was one of the clear-cut favorites to start the year. Lamar Jackson's still hanging around at 30-1. You might be asking yourself, well, dude, the Ravens are 1-5.
Right. Yeah.
Have you seen the Ravens? In fact, if I've seen the Ravens, I probably haven't seen most of the team because everybody's hurt.
Right. Yeah.
All those things are true. Like, they've been bad. They've been extraordinarily bad. Everything feels like though the wheels are falling off for this team. But let's kind of take a bird's eye view of where things are right now. Pittsburgh leads that division 4-1. Okay. Are they really going to be able to keep that and sustain it? I don't think so. And everybody else is pretty terrible. Bengals 2-4. Is Joe Flacco going to hold down the fort until Burrow comes down? We'll see. Cleveland, just go ahead and just dismiss them at that point. But if you look at the Ravens schedule,
right,
it's very intriguing, right? Like, they play one team above 500 from weeks 8 through 15.
Wow.
Okay. They're on a bye this week. They are likely to get Lamar back in their game against Chicago. And Chicago's over 500 right now. I assume they'll be over 500 next week. So maybe that's two teams above 500. Lamar's 30-1 to win MVP. They've scored only 30 total points in the 2 full games that he's been out. And you have a narrative here of if the Ravens decide to start playing some good football and Lamar is the clear catalyst to get the Ravens back on track. There have only been 4 teams, Tucker, since 1970 that have made the postseason after starting 1-5. You know who one of those teams is, by the way?
I don't.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that team. Yeah. That's right. Uh-huh.
So if all of a sudden Lamar is the reason, maybe not the only reason, but the clear-cut reason that Baltimore gets themselves back on track and into the postseason, maybe he doesn't win MVP. Maybe Baker just goes on an absolute run. Maybe Mahomes puts up dominant numbers now that the offense is back. Like, this is not a sure thing, but based on the schedule, based on the opportunity, and based on what we know he can do in the regular season, man, Lamar at 30-1 with that schedule ahead and getting some of those weapons back, I'm willing to pull the trigger on that one and roll the dice and see if that can get some pretty good value back on that futures play.
We know that the MVP award too is a bit of a narrative award, and if you have the narrative there, I mean, you laid it out, I think, perfectly there. The narrative is there, and if you can drive home a narrative like they tried to do with Drew Brees, remember that one year? Last year's like, oh, you got to give him an MVP because he's played for so long. They tried to give him that MVP, and you look at this, like you mentioned, they got the Bears, they'll have the Dolphins after that, the Vikings. Who knows what their quarterback situation will be like? The Browns. Jets, they play the Bengals twice in 3 weeks with the Steelers in between, the Patriots, Packers, and then Steelers. Like, they might be not favored in 4 games maybe for the rest of the way. So like, I think they'll probably be they'll probably be favored in a lot of the games that they're going to have, especially if they do have Lamar back. I think that's a really interesting one. That's one that you place maybe a couple bucks on right now as like a little bit of an investment thing, like just in case, because that number could yield some high results. I see the vision there, Benny, is what I'll say. I see the vision.
Well, if you see the vision, I hope that everybody else sees it a little bit too. You don't necessarily have to root for it. I mean, I can think of countless bets that I've made that I'm not really rooting for, but it feels like the right number, and it is the right number, so you go ahead and jump on it while you can. But yeah, that number is definitely going to start climbing, especially in the second half. Because that's just what Lamar does year in and year out. He's going to put up terrific numbers in the regular season, and he's going to be worthy of MVP conversation. So if the Ravens get back in it, this is a very, very intriguing bet, and the number is not going to be better than what you find it at now.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to get involved in all these bets, you can get involved with our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. And you guys already know my favorite touchdown. It's the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. They got parlays, same-game parlays, straight bets, anything that you want, they got it there for you at DraftKings Sportsbook. And here's the best part. Bet just $5 in your bet, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. I use DraftKings, and you should too. Your team hitting pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Benny, appreciate your time.
Good to see you, my friend. Be good.
Appreciate Benny hanging out with me, talking some bets, Matt. But let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. We got to talk about the Buffalo Bills because that showing on Monday Night Football was comical, and I think it's also funny that the NFL has yet to post the game-winning the game-losing interception, I guess, from Josh Allen. The NFL just didn't post it. Just didn't post it at all. Running some PR for Josh Allen, maybe, who knows? But there's some conspiracy theories out there, and overall, we were kind of sniffing this out. I feel like, Matt, when we were looking at kind of some of the games and the Bills as a team. Like, they've only beat really bad teams, and the games they beat them in were kind of close. And two of the teams they played are the Dolphins and the Jets, which are on super mega ass tier. So I mean, like,
aren't the Saints also on that tier?
Saints are also on that tier. Great call.
That's the third one. Their wins have come against teams that have 3 total wins.
Yes,
I believe they're 3 and so the math in my head quick.
25,
3 and 21.
21. Yeah, there it is.
Great records.
Yep.
But the Lions have more wins than everybody the Bills have beaten combined. That's all you did on.
Yeah.
They're not playing particularly good football. Look, I was assigned to cover that Bills Falcons game for SI and wrote about it afterward. Like, my column was just, if the Bills don't play better defensively, they have no shot.
Yeah, I mean,
we can just save time.
Yeah.
Every year we go through the paces, I feel like, and maybe it's like, I mean, how I cover the whole league, but obviously, the Chiefs. I've got my eyes on the Chiefs. Like, I feel like every year we go through the paces with the Bills and the Ravens. Every single year, and I get it. It's because you look at them and go, well, they're the teams. If somebody's going to knock off Kansas City and keep them from the Super Bowl, it's one of those two.
Yeah.
Fair and probably accurate. And look, the Ravens are, like, we can put them aside because the Ravens are unique this year. Like, they've been just a shit show. They've been beat up.
Yep.
The Bills have had a nominal amount of injuries, like nothing insane. Right. Pretty standard. And my takeaway with the Bills, they're the same team they've been for years. And I would argue, quite honestly, I think this edition to this point is the weakest edition it's been in years. If I ask somebody, forget the numbers, right? Because if you look at the numbers defensively, you're like, all right, they're okay. They're not bad. Like, if you look at them just straight up, like, yards per play against on defense, I mean, it's not good. They're 25th.
Right.
But then you get into like some of their numbers, you look at like pressure rate, like, oh, they're 5th in pressure rate. Like, okay. You look at, quarterback hits, they're not great. They're 21st. It's just like maybe that kind of goes against pressure rate, but like they're 4th in tackles for loss. The point I'm making is if you look at a lot of their numbers, like yards per completion against their top 10. Chiefs, by the way, 4th in that category.
Oh.
But yeah, the Bills are dead last against the run, 5.8 yards per carry, which is just ridiculous.
Wow.
Probably wasn't helped by the fact that Bijan Robinson just truck stick Cole Bishop and went 81 yards. Cole Bishop is still trying to get up off the turf in Georgia. But look, the numbers though defensively for them are like kind of hit and miss. But to what you said earlier, and it's true, like, but they're playing teams that suck.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Baltimore, fine, right? Like fine.
Yeah.
Other than that, let's be even New England. New England doesn't suck, but like offensively, that is not a team that you're like, oh, they're overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's Stephon Diggs and a bunch of running backs who fumble. Like, okay, all right. It's not. It feels like the Pats are kind of like one of those teams that, like, they're clearly ascending, but like they're kind of a year away from being like really interesting. And yet the Bills defensively are not good. Mm-hmm. And the reason they're not good is, again, the same reason it's been for years. Their pass rush stinks. They don't get home enough. When they do get home, it's oftentimes against these teams that just blow and are totally overmatched. And it's like, I always look at the season through the prism of what does it mean come January? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't give a shit that they beat the Saints. I don't care. Because guess what? They're not going to play the Saints in January. Like, when I'm looking at the Bills and I'm looking at the Chiefs and I'm looking at the Lions and teams of that quality, I'm thinking about, okay, what is this going to translate to in January?
Right.
And I'm going to say, and I mean this unbiasedly, they play the Chiefs in January and this defense doesn't get better, they're giving up 45 points.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Because the Chiefs are going to go in there with their best game script possible, and they're going to give the ball to number 15, but hey, man, beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going to go 4 wide all game and be, oh, good, there's Tre'Davious White and Cole Bishop. Awesome, here it comes. And there's nothing they're doing. Like, January football is so much more about not having glaring weaknesses than it is about having one great strength.
Right.
Like, you're going to have some weakness. I mean, I don't care who you are. There's always going to be some Achilles heel.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But the Bills have no pass rush, and they marry that with not being able to cover anybody. And I got to tell you, when you also marry that to the worst run defense in football, you got a problem. And I've seen people like, oh, they should trade for a safety. If you think one safety is fixing all that, but I got a bridge to sell you. I got some oceanfront property in Nebraska. Like, they're not fixing this.
Yeah.
This is what they are. I'm not saying they can't get moderately better and, okay, a scheme adjustment and fine. The reality is that, like, you are what you are. I mean, I can't think of the last time a trade deadline move was like, oh my God, this shaped the season.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. They got Amari Cooper last year. Oh, Amari Cooper sucked.
Mm-hmm.
I was retired. Like, that was it. So I look at the Bills. I'll always respect them because Josh Allen is talented enough that if you don't respect him, you're nuts.
For sure.
But they're just not that good. Like, their best receiver is probably Khalil Shakir.
Right.
Like, I like Khalil Shakir, I really do, but like he's kind of like he's a guy. Like, he's a good player. But like, I don't know, like he's not better than Hollywood Brown.
Right.
And I like Hollywood Brown, man. I like him as your number 3. If he's your number 1 receiver, you got a problem. You're the Chiefs the first 3 weeks of the year.
Right. Yeah.
Like, the AFC is just, and that's why it could come full circle. That's why they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, Vegas is looking at the AFC right now going, who the hell's better than them?
Right.
Who is it? Right. I don't know. Pittsburgh? Good luck.
Yeah, it's the other part of the Bills discussion is that they just apparently refuse to play and use the running back that they paid $18 million for. Huh. And a lot of the reason that Josh Allen gets bailed out in these Chiefs games is because of how damn good James Cook has played. You go back and you watch that last AFC Championship game, James Cook plays insane that game. And I don't think that's talked about a lot, but like James Cook is the reason that they are in that game. That last AFC Championship game, I watched it a few days ago, I think. Just rewatching it. Like, man, like James Cook is a dynamic football player. And against the Falcons, they just were like, oh, yeah, let's run a screen with Ty Robinson instead of James Cook.
Oh, yeah, Ty Johnson.
Ty Johnson. Yeah, see, it doesn't even matter.
Well, I'll tell you, look, and Allen doesn't escape blame here either, in the sense that,
no, right, yeah.
Like, I tried to be fair. I sat here last year in the first half of the year. I killed Mahomes for the fact that, like, I'm like, look, he's not playing well. Like, they need to play better. Let's just be real. Allen is, look, and I get it, and I think it was the exact same reason that Mahomes struggled at times last year. He's looking around going, like, I have to make every play.
Yep.
I have to do everything. He threw 2 picks against Atlanta. Now, one of them was at the end of the game when they're trying to make something happen, got tipped. Fine. Right. The other one was right before halftime. It was a bad decision. Like, he just forced the ball in there, and it's because nobody's getting open. Mm-hmm. Nothing's happening. And, look, I thought the worst play he made in that game wasn't even one of the picks. It was a 4th and short. It was like 4th and 2 in the third quarter. And he rolled to his left, and he just, like, shot-putted a pass to one of the backs. Might actually have been Johnson. And it fell short. And I'm like, why didn't you just throw that ball normally? Yeah. What are you doing? You had time. Like, he just pulled up in front of the ball. But I think right now he's feeling the pressure of, hey, man, I've got nothing. Like, Keon Coleman and Josh Palmer. Ugh. It's like, yeah, man, that's like, I mean, I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm serious. Keon Coleman would not play on the Chiefs. Right. He would not be on the field. Like, there's no way in hell that guy is a top 5 receiver on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because right now, if you got Brown, Worthy, and Rice, which are clearly, they're all better than him. Mm-hmm. He's not getting on the field ahead of Juju and Thornton right now. And I know that, like, a Bills fan probably take great offense to that. It's just true. There is no way Joshua Palmer, like, maybe would, like, share the field to Juju. Like, that's, they don't have the horses right now. They just flat out don't. And so, like, last year, Allen, to his credit, really cleaned up the turnovers. Like, really did a nice job. Well, now all of a sudden they're coming back to fruition. And I think, again, a lot of that is just, hey, man, nobody's getting separation. I've got to make a play. I've got to do something. It's on me. And that's, after a while, that it weighs on you. That is a lot just all the time. I mean, right now, looking at their snap counts, Keon Coleman is the leading receiver. He's played 72% of the snaps.
Wow.
Shakir's at 61. Palmer's at 42.8. Tyrell Shavers is at 28%. Tyrell Shavers has 5 catches for 51 yards in 6 games. He's played 28% of snaps.
I could pick that guy out of a lineup. Like, if you gave me a lineup, I wouldn't be able to tell you who he was.
Elijah Moore has played 21% of the snaps. He has 4 catches. Like, that's a real number. Like, these guys, Curtis Samuel, 13%. He's 3 catches.
These guys are running cardio out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we were joking about the other, well, we weren't joking, we were dead serious, but we were making a joke of it to mask the pain of the Chiefs receiving core and pass years. Keon Coleman has 24 catches. He's played 72%. Like,
that's crazy.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
The guy's averaging, 4 catches a game? Like, what? Like, and it's like last year, here's another crazy number. Last year, he averaged 19.2 yards per catch, which is a very good number.
Oh, yeah.
You want to guess what he's at right now?
7.
9.9.
Wow.
I mean, that is...
Well, 10 yards less. Nearly.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
I know, like, 9.9 is just... I mean, it's not effective. Like,
right.
Great, awesome. I don't care. Like, by the way, if you're curious, like, so if he was playing last year and he posted 9.9 for the season, he would have ranked 106th in that category. He would have been tied with Zach Ertz and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh my gosh.
Behind Tyler Boyd, Dalton Schultz, Jonnu Smith, Pat Freiermuth, Cole Kmet, Xavier Legette, and Cade Otton.
Shout out Cade Otton.
Shout out. Also behind Jadavian Sanders there. But like, that's, I mean, 9.9 is brutal. Like, that's just, so yeah, in any event, the bottom line is the Bills normally they can get away with being kind of a sieve on defense because they're just going to score a lot of points. They're not going to do that this year.
Right. Yeah.
So they're in a tough spot currently, and I don't know that there's a balm that's going to solve all that.
Right, they're on a bye week right now. Them and the Ravens are on a bye week this week in week 7. A little bit of an early bye week though, too, for a team that anticipates to go deep in the playoffs for both those teams. Well, the Ravens probably don't anticipate that now, but they could make a run, I guess, and try to make it interesting in that division. But there are some interesting games on the slate. Every time that I do our Wednesday stream, I do the ball maps, Matt, where we look at the broadcast maps of where every game is. But there's some stinkers also this week. We want to wake up at 8:30 a.m. and watch Rams Jags.
I'm gonna tell you right now. We're gonna.
It's better than in the other early slate games that they've had. I will say, I think Rams and Jags is probably the best one that they've had so far. That's been the early morning game.
Jets Broncos. Tell you that much.
Yeah.
So Vegas, Kansas City is the national game.
Yes.
Nance and Romo on the call.
Shout out.
And then you're getting. I'll tell you what. If you're in South Florida, or you're in Ohio, you're getting Cleveland and Miami with Spiro Adidas and Adam Marshall, and you're gonna like it.
I think it's very funny that those are the only two places that they're playing that game. Like nobody else wants to see this. We're just showing them in local markets. That's it.
And then you got the Chargers and the Colts. What am I missing? Why is this game being shown in like Baton Rouge? Is there some big LSU?
No, it's because the Saints play early. And so they're getting that game late on the single window of CBS. So CBS only has one game window instead of a 2-game window in these time areas. So like the Bears and the Saints play early, but they're getting what game are they getting in there? Chargers Colts. Yeah. The Chargers Colts game is a late game, so they're getting that in their late game window instead of a game in the early window on CBS. If that makes sense. Yeah,
I got you. Okay, sure, makes sense. Good job by you. And then Fox is giving the world Philadelphia and Minnesota.
Yeah, look, overall, the ball maps this week are just kind of straightforward and kind of boring. Truthfully, I'm just they're incredibly straightforward. I always like the ones like the Aaron Rodgers game when you just see that area just north of Sacramento is just that's the Steelers, because that's where he's from. But
I know
maps today. We're
wrapping her up here. But I got to tell you, did you watch the Bears Commanders game?
I watched after the first Monday night game got done.
Correct.
I watched it on. I didn't watch them at the same time. So I watched it on from there. Yes.
See Troy Aikman just absolutely just annihilating Caleb Williams.
He was so pissed every time Caleb Williams did literally anything.
Oh my God. I am normally the guy who's look, people make way too much out of the broadcasters.
Yeah.
By about the middle of the fourth quarter, I was like, man, Aikman, if he could go down and fight Caleb Williams on the field, I think he would do it. And then it came out that I guess they were supposed to have a meeting, a pre-production meeting.
Yeah.
And Caleb was like, yeah, I'm lifting and stuff.
I did not see that.
Yeah, no, it's unclear. Caleb said he was prepping for the game, and then there's been some kind of talk about, he was in the gym.
Yeah.
And then I guess he called Aikman after he didn't show up for the meeting, and then he called Aikman afterward, and Aikman didn't answer his phone and didn't bother to reschedule. And then it was just an all you could eat just character assassination on Monday Night Football. Anyway. I saw some hilarious tweets I can't repeat on here.
Right. No, the memes were good. The memes were good from it.
I think Bears fans were comparing Troy Aikman's career to Ryan Tannehill statistically, and I'm like, listen, we jumped the shark. Okay, I'm old enough to have seen Troy Aikman. He was a damn good player, but Bears fans how is this bum in the Hall of Fame? Wow. Okay,
there's a lot of Bears players you can do that with too.
They just never went to the Hall of Fame.
Right. I will say that two back-to-back showings from Troy Aikman of him just being kind of awful during the broadcast with him and the Mahomes and the Jaguars. He was not very good in that game either. He was just so annoyed about anything that the Chiefs did. And, he just doesn't generally like Mahomes anyway. So a tough look for old man Aikman, man. He's really turned into a real grouch.
He's got an issue with Mahomes because of Briscoe.
Yeah, it's Briscoe's fault. It is.
For anyone who doesn't know, Briscoe riled up Aikman on Twitter once, saying something. What was it like? Something about like he's like
had 33% of his career yards and like 12% of his games or something like.
Yeah, and Aikman tweeted out, like, "Let me know when he gets 3 Super Bowls." And then, of course, he went out immediately with 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So yeah, Briscoe got the last laugh.
He did. That was a good one. We have another Monday Night Football doubleheader. Is this the last one of the year? Please.
I think so.
I also think this is the last one ever because I think they've came out and said they're not doing these anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank God. Give me the games on Sunday.
The games on Sunday? Okay.
No, I'm saying no. Like, give me the games on Sunday. No, I know
that makes sense.
I know what the fucking schedule is.
I was gonna say, I was like, I can give you the games if you want to. I mean, I figured you already knew it.
I've got it. Thanks, boss. Yeah. I had no idea the Raiders played on Sunday.
Wait, hang on. The Raiders played games?
Here, I thought it was Tuesday. No,
play the games on Sunday.
Play the games, even like in one way, the Thursday night game's nice because like it bridges the gap, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's cool. But on the other hand, like I just want to watch the games on Sunday. Like, I don't need double headers on Mondays and like all this other, even like late in the year when they play like, hey, here's a triple header on Saturdays. Bro, I'd like to stay married. Let's let the Boca Raton Bowl breathe. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, like don't watch shitty bowl game that nobody cares about except like 8 people that show up to the Outback Bowl. Right. Like, and just, welcome to Shreveport, Louisiana. And for it's like, you go, oh, great. Awesome. The care package is like a bucket of gumbo and like a pencil. But I mean
the Ticonderoga Bowl.
Yeah, Ticonderoga number 2 pencil bowl. But yeah, I like games on Sundays. Like I don't need a doubleheader on Monday. Plus, the games are like staggered. So you don't even get to watch both of them. It's just
right.
So yeah, I am happy. This is the last one, and I will say though they're good games.
Yeah,
Tampa, Detroit's a really good game. Brian Branch will not be in it because he punched somebody.
Did you see that the Lions fans were upset that Jordy Nelson was appointed to the appeal, as if Jordy Nelson cares about the Lions?
It's like, yeah, I'm sure, guys. He's really that's his deal. I got to tell you, maybe it's a good place to wrap. Like I probably shouldn't be like bad job by me, I guess. I am shocked how unbelievably bent out of shape not only the Lions fans are, the Lions are.
Yeah.
Like, buddy, whether or not you think you got blocked in the back or blocked in the side, or like whatever. Okay, fine. Let's even go with you got blocked in the back. Cool. It's football, man.
Yeah.
He didn't break your vertebrae. Like, if that play caused a fight, there'd be 50 of them every game.
Yeah.
And yet he's punching. Then you've got people like, well, you had a radio guy in Detroit who's like, Mahomes would get a 60-yard taunting penalty. Uh-huh. He taunted Branch 4 times in the end. I'm like, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, what? I mean, people hate the Chiefs so much because they can't beat them that they spend the whole week just riled up to no end. I honestly, I know Chiefs fans, a lot of them get annoyed and pissed and sick of it. And I get it. I got to tell you, and I mean this, I think it's an advantage for the team. You get guys so in their heads before the game. Kirby Joseph was online for what felt like an hour and a half after the game, just tweeting, retweeting, liking things about the official. I'm like, Kirby, were you not on the field getting smoked all night long? Like,
he was ass. He was bad.
What are you talking about? Like, I will, as the kids say, I will keep that energy. If the Chiefs, I will rip them all day. Like, that is a loser's ballad, man. Mm-hmm. To sit there and bitch. When I played high school ball or high school, I played baseball, hockey. I got to tell you, there was never a single time I ever walked off a field or skated off a rink and felt like, I lost because the officials and just blamed it on the refs. Like, that's high school. Yeah. These guys are pro athletes worth a million times more athletic than I could ever dream being. Like, Kirby, you lost by 2 scores, bro. You think you lost that game? Well, I can't believe it. You got people bitching about that personal foul on Hutchinson.
Yeah.
That man started running from Topeka. Like, what are you talking about? When they show roughing the passer next year on the teaching tape that they'll send out to all 32, that might be the clip they use.
Yeah.
Like, Goff, everybody's bitching about, they called out it is a penalty.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't give a shit if you don't like it or not. Like, I saw one personality out there who's like, well, it's a cool play. They should let it stand. That's not how the sport works.
Yeah.
What? Like, you don't get cool points for it. I really believe some of these teams, man, like, it's like in their head before they even play them.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy, but the Lions are getting ready to play another nationally televised game against a 5-1 football team, and have spent the entire week talking about this Chiefs game they just got blown out in. Like, if all those calls had gone our way, we would have lost by 7.
Right. Right.
Like, what do we do? Like, the Chiefs are the only team I've ever seen that calls that are so unbelievably obvious that, like, no one would even think twice about it.
Right.
Somehow become incredibly controversial.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Aiden Hutchinson. I got a lot of respect for Aiden Hutchinson. The man took a running start from the concession stand on that play.
I generally think that Aiden Hutchinson didn't know that he let the ball go.
I agree with you, because otherwise it's one of the dumbest plays I've ever seen. Like,
right, yes.
He hit him with a full head of steam.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he hit him like half. And I got to say, look, I hate doing this because it makes it like I'm denigrating the guy, and I'm not. It's just a comparison point. Josh Allen is the biggest flopper in the NFL, and it is not close.
Yeah.
Josh Allen at times falls over like he got shot and like was barely touched and sometimes not even touched. Like, he's an NBA level flop artist. Okay. And I'm not saying, look, if we're being honest, there are times where Mahomes has absolutely taken off with the ball and he has tried to bait some guy into contact.
For sure.
Like, it has happened. But to sit here and pretend like he is somehow this guy who gets every call in the world is crazy. Like, and sometimes there are just calls like the Goff thing. I'm sorry, that's a penalty.
Man.
I forget. I think it was Jason McIntyre. I hope I'm not wrong. Who was like 0 penalties. How does Juwan Taylor not get called for? It's like, okay, fair point, by the way. But also, like, he's like, he should have been called for a false start. I'm like, so now you're just creating penalties they didn't have. Like, what?
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, man, if it did hell, I'd lean right into it. I'd be shaking hands with the rest before the game. I would do anything. Anything to get in the opponent's head to be, they're in our pocket. Sure. It's crazy, but I actually, honest to Christ, I think it's an advantage.
It is quite insane. And I don't think anyone's ever been as down bad as asking for taunting penalties. Like, that is like one of the most ridiculous things of like, well, he was taunting us.
Then going out and talking about that you got bullied in an NFL game.
Yeah. It should have been taunting. We got bullied. Yeah.
That's as bad as it gets, man.
Yeah. Tough look for the Lions, who I had a ton of respect for. And I thought I still have a ton of respect for Dan Campbell. I don't think a lot of it, I don't think all of it falls on Dan Campbell here, but like,
it's bad. Like, your entire thing is that you're tough and you're biting kneecaps and you're this physical team. And like,
they got out physical in that game.
You kind of got punked, man. Like, I mean, I led my column off that game talking about how Kareem Hunt hit Rock Ya-Sin into another galaxy.
Yeah.
Like, the Chiefs basically lined up, like, we're going to kick your ass. And did it.
And they didn't have an answer. Yeah.
And I think that, I honestly, like Brian Brandt said, everybody wants about Juju. I'm not Brian Brandt. And I've interviewed Brian, and he's a good dude. Like, I like Brian. I have a lot of respect for him. I really think the problem in that game, and I think that's why all the anger boiled over at the end, was they got punched in the mouth in a way that, like, even Pacheco, like, they were running hard. They were going downhill in that game. Like, it was, the Lions don't often get held on their 100 yards rushing.
Right.
And that game, they got moved around. And I think that, quite honestly, I think that was a big part of it.
Dan Campbell said after the game, it's been a while since they saw a team take 3 knees on them. Like, it's been that long. It's been a minute since they saw the other team take a knee because it's always been they played close games.
I mean, the Chiefs, they look, it reminded me, not obviously as big of a game. It reminded me of the AFC title game a couple of years ago in Baltimore.
Yeah.
In the sense that a really good team, it felt like they just got in their head and it was like they're done. Like they are just cooked mentally. And I mean, Baltimore is the golden shining example of that, I think, for all time. That game was ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
The Ravens just were like lining up to take a personal foul in that game. And Justin Tucker before the game was one of the all-time, just like, what are you doing?
He was never the same after that.
Neither were the Ravens. I remember watching him do that and thinking, like,
what is he doing?
They're in for a long day. Like, this is like most guys, I'd be like, yeah, okay, you're doing this to 2 first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it's an awful idea.
Good luck, man. Have fun. I'm sure the rest of the team actually had to play football that day and not just watch it like Justin Tucker did. I'm sure they're like, thanks, bro.
Right.
Great job by you.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. It's like 12:17 in the morning. We got to do it.
Yeah, we got to do it. All right, that's going to do it for this Friday edition of That Football Show. Appreciate you guys for hanging out and listening to us preview this week 7 action. Week 7 of NFL is here. We'll be back after the Chiefs game. Hey, Matt, we don't have to stay up that late for the recording of That Football Show because it's a noon game. It's huge for us.
You know what? If the Chiefs play the way they should play, we'll record the post-game show at halftime.
Don't tempt us. We have done it before.
We did it in the preseason.
We did do it in the preseason.
We've never mentioned the score, thankfully, because the Bears came back in the 4th. But
yeah, the Bears did end up winning that football game. But we were like, yeah, Chiefs played really well. That was crazy. That's going to do it for us. Make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Drop those comments in there as well. We do enjoy reading and listening and watching those comments come in. So appreciate that. Subscribe to become a ball knower. Hit the like button to support the show as well. So for Matt Verderame, I'm Tucker Franklin. We will talk to you guys after the Chiefs and Raiders game on Monday morning. We'll see you then.